Got a question for you, Thomas. Usually when you do something like this, there's a return on investment. So let's say you put $20,000 to go to an event like this. You expect at least some kickback financially from meeting other companies, being able to sell products ahead of time. Do you find that to have decreased over the years? Is the importance of NAMM and the connections you make less relevant, or is it just about the same but with a higher cost now?
I would take it as a personal question for this NAMM. I was happy with the results. What were the results? My results were I have been on a lot of different YouTube channels, and one of the videos is maybe reaching 150,000 one of these days. So there's a value. There are some other YouTube channels that also were stepping by the booth and spread the news or whatever, reporting from Blue Guitar. And the funny thing was, I did my own walk through NAMM, having probably the most views besides. No, I think it was maybe even more views than the other most popular shows that I have done. And so this was a side effect. I didn't even plan that. And we did it on the first day, and then my video guy caught something and he couldn't edit the whole thing so we were kind of late. So it was kind of the last day at NAMM that we did the walkthrough. So we were not even performing as we would, or as we should done it. But still, that video was watched a lot. Okay, that's the thing about the online presence. What is even more important for me is kind of the business that I can do with the industry people. Because writing emails is a totally different thing than meeting your suppliers personally, maybe having dinner with them or just spend half an hour at the booth and show them who you are, what you are doing, and excite them, because that's for me the biggest asset, that I can excite my suppliers, and this gives me a better ranking, because my business is not the biggest. I'm not the biggest company, but if they like what I do and understand what I do, they are happy to go that extra mile that I sometimes ask for my speaker suppliers, for instance, or my housing for the speaker suppliers, and this is via email. It doesn't work. It needs to be face to face. I have to show them. They have to feel it. I have to play a little bit, and then there's this extra value for them, and that comes back for me. I could only travel to Asia to do this kind of, but then, I don't have my amps with me when I visit them in the factory. So these are the magic moments where I can charge our relationships with fresh energy. And in this little business we are all in, if you're not one of the big players with the big money in your hand, what is the value that pays? I mean, of course there is money, but in the end, if they remember me being the guy that made them happy or is more passionate than others, that gives their job a reason. It's like, when I talk to my loudspeaker designer guy, and he smiles because he can feel how excited I am about his last sample, and I show him what it is, what I mean, and that's priceless, basically. And there is that value. But it could be any other meeting as well, as long as we have the meeting. So that's the thing about NAMM. people go there because that's probably the only place to meet these days, besides Summit. But talking about speaker manufacturers, they might also do audio speakers. So for them, it makes more sense to be at a show that does guitars and audio.
Yeah, yeah, totally makes
okay.
Totally makes sense.
Return
of investment.
On
exactly.
Investment. Yeah. Okay. Finally, to answer that question.
No worries.
Sorry but I think I want to give a complete picture here.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
If I would do return on investment in a very hard way, it is like I spent the money, that money that I invested, I would probably have evenly got back as a value.
Okay.
But it has not the same quality since the personal level is involved. You know, when I would try to get those YouTubers to make the video, I would have to ask them and I would have to pay for them. And it happened totally naturally. I didn't ask them. They were interested. They came to me and they just did it, you know? So for me, I hate to pay people for something, because it's not that I want that they make the money, but I don't want to. If somebody makes a video about my products, it feels shit to pay, you know, because either they like the product or they hate it. But giving money for that, it's the wrong signal, you know. So I've never really did paid videos for my gear. You know, it feels very strange.